truths. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
The blues they sent to beat me won't defeat me. And it won't be long till happiness comes up to greet me. Because raindrops keep falling on my head. They keep falling. Little BJ Thomas. BJ Thomas sings Raindrops. It's one of the very first songs I can remember as a kid. And I would put it on and I would dance around the coffee table. It is the same coffee table that took this eyebrow right here, right there. And I still own that coffee table. It has been through hell and back. It is older than I am, and I am 55. Is the only thing I own from growing up. It's the only thing. And this table has seen so many drugs and alcohol. It has seen so much. This poor table, and nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. I'm the only person that wanted the table, man. Yeah, poor thing. Poor thing. God, why would you do that? All right. Restream changed everything again, where my count is at, that we're live, that it's in 720p. Yeah, they made it smaller. Actually, that looks a lot better. It does. I actually appreciate this one better. So, just part of it. Right. New message from Kaiser Permanente. Yeah, you guys are probably wondering what they said, huh? They said, I need to grow up. He said I was being a baby, actually. He wasn't totally wrong, I have to admit. He showed me some things and pointed some things out, and he was correct. I couldn't argue with it. He showed me my stuff, and he actually said that my finger looks really good considering everything. So that's a good thing. It still hurts, but, you know, he answered my questions. And I even brought my tramadol with me because I wanted to show him, hey, I had taken less than I could have by now. And he said, no, I'm not worried about that. I trust you on that. So it didn't have to. I then, you know, so I think I was wrong about the pill seeking and stuff. So sometimes we are wrong. Nah. Does it hurt today? Yes, it hurts. Did it trigger last night while I was sleeping? No, it did not. So, progress. All right. I was also missing out on a couple of things. One of the exercises that I was supposed to do. So, there we are. That's where it's at. They didn't give me that when you leave sheet, and I had forgotten about it. That had all the exercises on it. So, it wasn't totally my fault. I just didn't know about it. All right. And what I'm supposed to be doing is every now and again massaging this portion of my hand where the surgery was to kind of break up anything up, and that's what's going on. So I'm just going to take better care of my hand. I'm going to, you know, be patient, and that's what we're going to do. That is the plan. So now y'all know, right? There we are. And I had to admit that I was wrong. Oh well. You can take it however you want. Yesterday, we are not going to do Dion's Daily Funnies today. Not because I don't feel like it, but just because I wanted to read something else here. All right. Yesterday, I was in a meeting and somebody else had brought up why we were chosen, and this is why we were chosen. But it has to do around AA. I'm just trying to grab one that's easier to read. All right, so we'll just go back to this one because we are. So I'm going to share my screen here. Do 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 do. Dot boop bop boop bop beep ba doo ba doo boop bop boop bop boop ba doo. And we're going to read why we were chosen. God in his wisdom selected this group of men and women to be purveyors of his goodness. Why is it doing that? Oh, because I need to be over there. Hopefully you guys can still see it. In selecting them through, I'm going to stop the sharing because it just shows people get weird. So I'll just read it. In selecting them through whom to bring about this phenomena, he went not to the proud, the mighty, the famous, or the brilliant. He went instead to the humble, to the sick, to the unfortunate. He went right to the drunkard and the so-called weakling of the world. Well, might he have said the following words to us. Unto your weak and feeble hands I have entrusted a power beyond estimate. To you has been given that which has been denied the most learned of your fellows, not to scientists or statesmen, not to wives or mothers, not even to the priest or minister have I given this gift of healing other alcoholics, which I entrust to you. It must be used unselfishly. It carries with it a grave responsibility. No day can be too long. No demands upon your time can be too urgent. No case can be too pitiful. No task too hard. No effort too great. It must be used with tolerance, for I have restricted its application to no race, no creed, and no denomination. Personal criticisms you must expect. Lack of appreciation will be common. Ridicule will be your lot. Your motives will be misjudged. You must be prepared for adversity. For what men call adversity is the ladder you must use to ascend the rungs towards spiritual perfection. And I remember, in the exercise of this power, I shall not exact from you beyond your capabilities. You are not selected because of exceptional talents. And be careful always, if success attends your efforts, not to ascribe to personal superiority that to which you can lay claim only by virtue of my gift. If I had wanted learned men to accomplish this mission, this power would have been entrusted to the physicians and the scientists. If I wanted eloquent men, there would have been many anxious for that assignment. For talk is the easiest used of all talents with which I have endowed mankind. If I had wanted scholarly men, this world is filled with better qualified men than you who would be available. You were selected because you have been the outcasts of the world, and your long experience as drunkards has made or should make you humbly alert to the cries of distress that come from the lonely hearts of alcoholics everywhere. Keep ever in mind the admission you made on the day of your profession in AA, namely that you are powerless, and that it is only with your willingness to turn your life and will unto my keeping that relief came to you. Wow. Wow. That is cool. That was cool. And it felt good too, didn't it? It felt good to me. It was cool to be described that way. Because I'm not Mr. Scholar. Yeah, it's 11:11. It's 11:11. Got to announce that before it gets too late. Morning, Amber. Morning, Eric. Good to see you. All right. Is it kind of cool? Doesn't it feel kind of cool to know that you were chosen? And it certainly wasn't for my eloquence. The only eloquence I have is Chat GPT. Right. So thank you, Tony. If you're listening, brother, sometimes he listens to these. Thank you, Tony, for bringing that up, giving us a good read. I really appreciate that. It's got a lot to it. If you'd like to know how I found it, all you need to do is put in why we were chosen AA, and it's a very top. I got it from Michael Powers. Michael Powers. There's two P's in there for some reason. .com. Michael Powers. Pow, pow. Sorry. Just me stemming a little bit. The Healing Millers, which is the current name, will be airing Friday at 6:30. It will be live. Yeah, I think it's making my wife really, really nervous. We'll see. I don't know. My wife's very shy. So the fact that she's even willing to do this is a blessing. She's also very, very knowledgeable about this. And she's very knowledgeable about the other side of alcoholism. My daughter will be joining us. So you're going to be able to hear these stories, and hopefully it'll bring hope. Hopefully it'll help. But what I want to know is, what do you think of the name, the Healing Millers? I want to know. And please be honest with me. It doesn't quite catch me. Okay. But Kurt, Time, Kieran, Shannon like it. So, I do things in group. That means I would be outvoted. So I want to know what you think of it. I've got to come up with a name today. So, all right. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. This one is named the Trudging Millers. Right? Who knows? All right. Throw some shit at me. Throw some stuff at me. You guys are like that. The people that follow me are extremely talented when it comes to this stuff. So if you got a name, throw it at me. I don't care how silly you think it is or whatever. All right. Or if you don't have anything, that's fine too. You can just listen. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I say this every now and again. It does help if you share my stuff, like it, comment, things like that. Maybe you'd help out a little bit. Great. Yay. All right. Having a good attitude. All right. Now, notice I said good attitude, not like an attitude. Is it okay to have an attitude of gratitude? Absolutely, it is. As having a good attitude is key to what we do. It is. And are you going to have a good attitude all the time? No. Did I have a great attitude yesterday? I don't think I did. I was wrong about some things. Huh. All right. So we're going to learn from it. Now, the key thing on that is I didn't take it out on anybody. I think this is what it came down to. I'm just tired of being in fucking pain. I am. See? Now, did you hear the angst when I said that? Michelle says, before you come up with a name, what are you talking about? We're going to be talking about family recovery, that this is a family disease. We're going to be taking questions from the audience. But basically, we're just going to be talking about our experience, strength, and hope like we usually do, except this will be more family oriented. Well, I don't know. It's more about the family than it is just about the alcoholic. I don't think it's going to be family oriented. I strike that. My daughter's a mini me, and she cusses like a sailor. So do I. So I don't know. They'll be family oriented. Still might be unsafe for children. So that's up to you if you want. If you're going to allow your kids to listen, but we'll try it. We'll try and keep it a little tame. All right. So, but we're going to be talking about our experiences as a family together. All right. And this is the process which we're going to sit down. And what's the main goal? Well, I'm going to tell you the first thing that's going to happen. It's going to bring us closer together as a family. That is the number one goal. I want to get closer to my daughter. That's why I came up with the idea. I want to be closer to my daughter. So that's the main reason. Okay. Both, both, well, not both. All three of us are very, very good at helping people, but we have different views. So there you go. Oh, the Miller views. No, thank you. I dress up as Whoopi Goldberg. All right. All right. So there is a reading to this. But having a good attitude, right? Even having a good attitude helps my pain. But when I focus on it and I focus on the problem, well, gosh, it seems to get worse, doesn't it? Huh? Sound familiar? Sounds familiar to me. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, sorry. So Amber says, just don't talk about the S man. All right. The S man comes around Christmas time. I'm not allowed. I almost blew it once. So, yes, not allowed to talk about the S man. Michelle says healing with the Millers. Yeah. See, that's in it. See, sometimes a little word helps the whole thing out. Healing with the Millers. Healing Millers. Healing with the Millers. That flows better, actually. Because see, you got to say this stuff out loud. Trudging together. If you have a rhythm of three, that's where you're at. The daily trudge, trudging together, raw recovery. Got three syllables, and that's healing with the Millers. See, healing with the Millers. There's three. It looks like four, but it's actually three. All right. Anyway, thank you. All right. Now, March 4th, reflection for the day. We're going to read out of a day at a time literature or a Hazelden literature. I'm a big fan of Hazelden, love Hazelden literature. From my understanding, a lot of Hazelden literature is actually going to be AA approved soon. Cool stuff. I don't know if that's necessarily smart. Is that us? I mean, I love Hazelden literature. I do. It'd be cool, but isn't that an alignment? Do we got to stay away from that? See, we just because I love Hazelden literature doesn't mean that it's okay that that's what we should do. So hopefully they take a vote. Hopefully that needs to be voted. All right, let's get to this. March 4th, reflection for the day. We may not know any specifics about activities of today. We may not know whether we'll be alone or with others. Now, your day may be a little different, but it's not often that I get up in the morning and I actually have a full day planned. And I need to work on changing that. I'm starting to work on structuring my time, right? So I'm working on that. But I also like my day being open in case somebody needs help. Because even this morning, I let a couple people know, hey, if you need help, just DM me. All right. I've been going through that. I found threads. You guys are probably like, yeah, Dion, you're 2 years behind. I finally found threads. Excuse me. Hold on, please. Wow. I'm sorry about that. That was kind of rude. All right. So, right. So I like my day to be kind of open. And today I got up. I'm like, you know what? I think I might go to a noon in-person meeting today. I'm not going to make it, just so you know. But then I got an email, right? So that was my thought. Good thought. Why not? Then I got a message from Anna Claire down at Salvation Army, and she's like, yeah, you can drop off that stuff anytime. I have a bunch of big books and AA literature from the Club Trudge. And it's just sitting there when it could be used, man. I've got like 10, 12 by 12s. You can stop by anytime from Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I'm in office. Because when I wrote them back, I said, yeah, I'm happy to drop it off, but when will you be there? Because, I don't want to just drop off books. You know, I kind of want to, hang out and talk to them a little bit. Wednesday afternoons and Friday mornings will probably be best. Well, it's Wednesday, so it changed. What I may do is instead is I may gather all that stuff, take it down to Salvation Army, right? So my plan kind of changed, but it still has service work involved with it, right? Now, I'm not sure if I'm doing it or not because I can put it all in a box, but I can't carry the box. So, um, hopefully my son will be home soon and I can have him take it to my car. As I can't lift. I still can't lift with this finger. Even picking up my phone sometimes like, ow. So, all right, then I got to take care of it. I said I was going to take better care of it. So, all right. Or whether we're going to be alone with others, right? So you can, this is what we say. You can plan the plan, but don't plan the result. Right? The daily trudge is a good example of that. I come up with a topic, but I don't sit around and think about what I'm going to talk about. The most I planned this one was I have a reading. I knew that I was going to read Why We Were Chosen. About it. Otherwise, this is God's. It's not even after 10 minutes, no longer my show. I hand it over to God in my head. Yeah. It works out really well. You know, I wasn't there for my kids while they were growing up, so I like to be 100% available for them now. That's more important to me than anything besides my recovery. But it's a very close second. Yeah. So I'm starting the healing with the Millers. I like that one better. Thank you, Michelle. All right. So we may not know whether we'll be alone or with others. We may feel the day contains too much time or not enough. Mine tends to be too much. If I have like 20 minutes, I'm going to go get my sling, guys and gals and people. But if I'm going to keep wearing this sling, I think I'm going to go get my purple tie. At least, so I'm matching. Actually, this tie matches this shirt. So, all right. Thank you for letting me do that. Appreciate that. All right. So I tend to think that there's too much time. And even then, I'm not awake as long as you folks. No. Right. And it used to mess with me bad. Okay. Sometimes it's like, okay, 5 o'clock's the meeting and it's 4 and I'm ready for the meeting. What am I going to do for that hour? What am I going to do for that hour? Well, what I used to do was go live. I mean, I would go on live like 4 times a day. Now I try and keep it to 2. That's what I try and do. But now I have a running list of little things that need to get done. And that's what I jump to, is I just jump to another list and take care of that. Like the other day I had an hour and I sat down and took care of all the stuff we talked about at Group Conscious and just got it done. Now it's done. I got my disability paperwork done. I feel so satisfied on that. I'm going to tell you something. It was not as hard as I thought. Well, here's the thing. Like education. I have my GED. Didn't take long. Employment in the last 5 years. I've only had one job in that time, and it was 3 months long, and I knew all the dates and things like that. It was really cool because on Kaiser, it showed like post-traumatic stress disorder, and then the date that I was diagnosed with that. So thanks to Kaiser and ChatGPT, it actually went pretty good. And then ChatGPT wrote a really nice sounding professional way. These are the tools. And yes, this still has to do with a good attitude, because if I walk into these things with a good attitude, I will feel more accomplished. Okay. It's hard for me to do things begrudgingly. Okay. And I got to have a good attitude, whether I'm doing the dishes, whether I'm doing the daily trudge, whether I'm, cleaning the cat box or doing things that I still have a good attitude. It's just stuff that needs to be done. I don't mind doing chores, you know. Isn't that what we're supposed to be now? Aren't we supposed to be of maximum service to God and the world around us now? Yeah. And that means having a good attitude. Does not mean you need to have a positive attitude 100% of the time. Now, that's what I would call toxic positivity. Okay. Having a good attitude will not solve your problems. That won't do it. But at least it won't make the problem worse. Right? Yeah. So having a good attitude puts you into the solution. But like with everything else that we talk about, acceptance, awareness, willingness, all this other stuff, it requires action. Everything we do requires an action afterwards. Even if that action is as small as thank you, God, even if it's as small as that. All right. We may be facing tasks we're eager to complete or tasks we have been resisting. So now that I got because here's the thing, I wasn't getting to other stuff because I didn't feel like I deserved it because my disability paperwork wasn't done. Now that it's done, I actually feel a freedom to do these other things I've been wanting to do. Right. So today I'm setting up healing with the Millers. I'm going with that one for right now. I have to run it by everybody. And then after that, I'm going to be working on the puppet show. Once I get that down, right, I'm going to start get back to working on the puppet show. Yeah, doing things that I want to do. Then that thing's going to it's going to be cool. It is. And I'm trying to figure out a way where you can make your own puppet and maybe you could be a guest star from your own home. You don't have to come over here. We'll figure it out. All right. Right. Where maybe I can put together like a package. It comes with a sock and all these different ways that you can do it. But then it'll come with a green screen, like a mini green screen or something. All right. So that you can join in with the chicanery. Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't that be a lot more fun? And then you could have more like improv. It'd be funny is to record, and it's not we can't do it, but it'd be funny to record like the parking lot meeting for grassroots and then lip sync it with sock puppets. See? All sorts of stuff. My brain goes crazy when it comes to stuff like that. All right. So, right? So, what did I do? Well, I went towards the task that I'm resisting. Go towards the task that you're resisting. Okay. Yes, I'm talking about your laundry. No, I tell you this though, not me and Amber. I know Amber got all of her laundry done. My laundry, I do all of it on Sunday. Every Sunday, I do not have clothes laying around unless they're pants, because I'll wear pants like 2, 3 times before I throw them in the wash, right? Depending. So get that stuff done that you've been resisting, right? And I can say that now that I've been doing this stuff that I've been resisting. Though the details of each person's day differ, each person's day does hold one similarity. I wonder what that is. Amber says, LOL, you're going to sell used socks. I'm not going to sell used ones, you silly. Maybe on OnlyFans. Some people might like that. You're funny. All right. So I do not know what the similarity is. I'm not going to look at what do we think that is. I'm going to try and guess. Um, choice is what I'm going to go with. All right. Each of us has the opportunity to choose to think positive thoughts. I didn't read this. I only read the very last line. Can I accept that I'm alone to have the power to control my attitude? That's all I read on this. Choice. It's the only answer it could be. We're talking about an attitude, a good attitude, and that's a choice. So it couldn't have been. My brain probably saw it and memorized it. Yeah. I'm over here trying to convince you that I didn't read it first, which means my brain's probably full of shit. It probably read it. Oh man, I'm just calling myself out today, aren't I? Oh, that's a cool. Amber, I just saw, and you tagged me in it. Great job. I only saw it for a few seconds. Good job. That looks good. I wish you'd kind of teach me how to do that stuff. All right. Because I know that you have so much time on your hands. All right. So each of us has the opportunity to choose to think positive thoughts. The choice depends less on our outside activities than our inner commitment, than on our inner commitment. Can I accept that I alone had the power to control my attitude? Yeah. I'm the only person that can change that. If I'm in a bad mood, if I'm, you know, all right. All right. Today I pray, may I keep the fire of inner commitment alive through this whole glorious day, whether my activities are succession of workday tasks or free form and creative. May I choose to make this a good day for me and for those around me. Today, I will remember, keep the commitment. All right. So, what are we covering today? All right. Now, some days it may be hard to have a good attitude, right? Two people can have the exact same day and experience it completely different. And that is all based on attitude. Is the cup half full? Is the cup half empty? Did you thank God for the red light, or did you get angry that you got stopped at another red light while you were speeding around trying to get somewhere because you're important? All right. So, all right, a lot of different things can change. It's going to depend on its circumstances. Maybe you live with somebody that's still drinking and stuff. That could be hard to have a good attitude. All right. This is why it's important that we find a program that works for us. Right? That we surround ourselves with people that are trying to become better. So, all right, I'm gonna wrap this one up because I think anything else I'm just gonna be repeating. So, yeah. Thank you for your help today. Appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and keep on trudging.